How is it going, everybody? This is S3Tide once again coming at you with a week 3 of college football recap. And once again, you will see Lou Holtz on the screen because he is so cute and he is needed in all of my videos. It's been a while since I've seen y'all, maybe 4 or 5 days, and I'm not used to that. So, it's been a while, so disregard if I stutter at all because I like to stutter on accident. So here we'll just jump right at it. Week 3 recap. Thursday we had number 3 LSU at Mississippi State. The game was pretty close up to the end, but LSU's defense just proved to be too tough. Mississippi State had way too many missed opportunities in their red zone. Well, not necessarily the red zone, but on their side of the 50. LSU's defense is way too tough. Chris Ralph and his offense battled. Vic Bauer's a great running back. They have some threats like Chad Bumpus on the outside and in the slot, but LSU just outmatched them, beat them 19-6. Friday we had another close game. We had Iowa State and Connecticut. I cannot remember who I predicted for this game, but sorry about that. Iowa State won 24-20. Iowa State, I think, is undefeated. They upset Iowa last week in that big rivalry. The Iowa rivalry. I always have problems saying rivalry for some reason. But Boise State also won because they played China. They won 40-15. But Iowa State won 24-20 over Connecticut. I think that's Connecticut's second straight loss. They lost against Vanderbilt the week before. It was a pretty close score, I think, too. I think it was like 20. I think it might have been the same score. I can't remember. But that's Connecticut's second straight loss. They're missing Randy Edsall at head coach who left to go to Maryland. Moving on to Saturday's game, we had, speaking of Maryland, the first game is West Virginia and Maryland. West Virginia pulled out way ahead. Geno Smith, a great quarterback, leading that offense. They run the 4-2-5, I believe it is, in their defense, and and that defense is strictly made to have a great secondary, and that's where West Virginia's problem lies, is they don't have a great secondary, and when a team can pass on them like Maryland can, it's not a good thing. But West Virginia, their offense outscored Maryland. Maryland came back at the end, but West Virginia won 37-31. And here we go. Clemson it was number 21 Auburn at Clemson. I honestly predicted Auburn to win. I thought they were, because they always somehow pull out the victory, as you saw that in the first 2 weeks against Mississippi State and Utah State. But Clemson proved me wrong. Auburn's defense is just honestly just terrible. They gotta fix that. They gotta do something with that defense. Ted Roof has to do something to be able to compete in the SEC. Tajh Boyd had a great game. Had a career high in yardage. And that I can't remember the wide receiver's name, but he also had a great game. But Clemson won 38-24 over Auburn, and I got that game wrong. I got a bunch of games wrong. Next game is Penn State at Temple. In my prediction video, I predicted Temple to make the upset, and they came so close, but Temple just could not score at all. Penn State scored in like the last, I can't remember how close it was to being over, but they scored towards the end of the game to pull ahead 14-10. Temple got in the Penn State territory at the end, but Penn State held them, and Penn State won 14-10. Next game, we have Iowa 31, Pittsburgh 27. From what I saw, Pittsburgh was out ahead most of the game, but Iowa came back and won 31-27. Next game, we have Vanderbilt and Ole Miss. This game was a total shocker. Vanderbilt is now 3-0 as they beat Ole Miss 30-7. They had a bunch of turnovers in that game. Vanderbilt did. They had a bunch of interceptions too, and their defense played pretty great. It was a shutout to like the last few minutes. Vanderbilt had a fumble like in their 40, and Ole Miss ended up scoring a touchdown. But Vanderbilt, they're not too bad this season. They're 3-0, 3 games from being bowl eligible. I'm sure they'll lose a lot with the SEC, the meat of the SEC schedule coming up. But I wouldn't be surprised if you see them pull a game or two, an upset or two maybe. I'm pretty sure that in the end of the year they'll be bowl eligible, but we'll see. Next game we have Georgia Tech 66, Kansas 24. I miss the days when Kansas had Todd Reesing in there. They were one of the better teams in the Big 12. But those days are gone. They have turned to Gill now, and they suck on the offensive side and defensive side. Next game, oh yeah, Georgia Tech won 66-24. Not sure if I said that or not. But next game we have Duke 20, Boston College 19. Boston College was out ahead for the most part, and then they went to kick like a 20-yard field goal to win the game, and their kicker missed it, and Duke had the upset and won. Let's see. Number 11, Nebraska in Washington. Nebraska won 51-38. Bo Pelini's not used to having a high-scoring game like this, but Washington has a really good young quarterback in Kevin Price. He makes some great throws, has a great footwork. He can also run if he has to, but Nebraska, with Taylor Martinez in their offense, just overpowered them and had a great game on offense. Defense, not so much, but you do what you got to do to win, and they won 51-38. Next game, I got this game wrong also. Notre Dame 31, Michigan State 13. Predicted Michigan State to smack Notre Dame, but they proved me wrong. Tommy Rees had a great game for Notre Dame. I think Dane Chris not starting for him is a blessing in disguise, as they won 31-13. So Notre Dame, not too bad. Florida and Tennessee. Florida won 33-23. Tennessee couldn't get anything on the running game going. John Brantley had a pretty good game. Florida struck really quick in the first quarter, scored like 10 points. I'm not sure if that's the exact number, but they struck pretty quick in the first quarter, and they didn't give it the lead the rest of the game. Their defense had a lot of missed opportunities. They dropped a lot of picks. Tyler Bray, I mean, for the most part, he had a pretty good game, but he just threw way too many balls which could have been picked off. I think he had like 2 interceptions, but Florida won 33-23. Next game, Texas 49, UCLA 20. Texas found out Garrett Gilbert is not the quarterback for them, and the quarterback for them is Case McCoy, Colt McCoy's little brother, and he will be the next prodigy for Texas more than likely. Let's see, next game. Oh, I didn't even know this. Army 21, Northwestern 14. Army beat Northwestern. Gosh, I did not know that. South Carolina and Navy. Navy was running the ball all over South Carolina, and South Carolina couldn't get anything going. But, you know, for some reason, upsets this year have been so close to becoming so. But in the fourth quarter, it all falls apart for the team trying to pull the upset, and South Carolina came back and won 24-21. An interesting game I want to talk about. I mentioned this in my prediction video: North Carolina State and South Alabama. South Alabama put way better a fight up than I thought they were. They lost 35-13, but that's their first game ever against an FBS opponent. Their first loss in program history, and this is like the 3rd year. They had their opportunities. They had great pass rush. They had a bunch of sacks, like 4 sacks. But the secondary was just thrown all on the whole game. They had their opportunities. In the second half, they got the ball, and to kick the field goal, they'd have been in a one-possession game. But the guy missed the field goal, and it all went downhill from there. And they lost 35-13. Florida International, UCF. This is an interesting game because UCF has been doing great this year. They beat Boston College the week before, 31-3. But Florida International put out the victory, 17-10. And look out for Florida International. They have a great team. Quarterback Wesley Carroll, a transfer from Mississippi State. He's doing pretty good for them, and they have the most explosive kick returner, wide receiver in the Sun Belt Conference. Probably one of the best in the country. His name is T.Y. Hilton. Look out for him. Let's see another game. South Florida 70, Florida A&M 17. I have a friend that goes to South Florida, plays on the team. He's gonna redshirt this year. Had to ask him, why did y'all put up 70? That is not nice of y'all. I also didn't know this one either. Illinois 17, Arizona State 14. Apparently, Illinois had the upset. I think I predicted Arizona to win. Next game, Louisville 24, Kentucky 17. Sooner or later, Kentucky's luck was gonna run out. They have not got anything going on the offensive side of the ball. They've had pretty good games defensively. With that said, they have played lower opponent teams, but the luck finally ran out, and the in-state rivalry between Louisville and Kentucky And Louisville comes out with the victory, 24-17. Let's see, another game to talk about. Oh yeah, Houston and Louisiana Tech. I predicted Houston to win, to go undefeated this year and get to the Sugar Bowl, on which some of you did not agree with, but I believe so. They came really close to not meeting that expectation with a loss to Louisiana Tech, but they came back in the fourth quarter. Scored, I'm not sure if it was 14 or 21 points in the fourth quarter to win. They cut it close, but they won 35-34 over Louisiana Tech. Alabama 41, North Texas 0. Just gotta mention that. Roll Tide. Didn't have the best game offensively. They just got to get some more explosive plays going. That was They actually had a few explosive plays in the fourth quarter, but throughout the game, you've got to have your explosive plays here and there, not just in one quarter. You don't have to give me a heart attack. Miami 24, Ohio State 6. I've been talking about Joe Bowersman in just about every video. The quarterback for Ohio State, taking number for Terrell Pryor. He had a terrible game. I'm not sure what his last stats were, but like halfway through the game, I knew he was like one of 9 for like 10 yards. So that is not going to help your team win, and they lost 24-6. Oklahoma. This is probably gonna be the last game. No, another game I'm gonna do. There should be a few more I do. Sorry. Oklahoma 23, Florida State 13. This is a good game on both sides. It was sad when Florida State's guy got hurt. I'm not sure what happened to him, but I'm pretty sure he was back on the sidelines at the end of the game, which should mean he was all right. But Oklahoma, both teams had a great game. It's sad that E.J. Manuel was hurt during the game, which could have made it more competitive. But there's no excuse for Florida State. They had their opportunities, but they lost 23-13. Next game, was totally wrong in this game. Utah and BYU. I predicted BYU to win in a close one, but that was totally wrong. Utah just killed them in every aspect of the game. BYU had way too many turnovers, which led to a 54-10 loss. Utah State won 54-10. And guys, I guess that is it. I gotta hurry up before this video goes over 12 minutes. I mean over 15 minutes. Thanks guys for watching. Right after this, I'm gonna record a week 4 prediction video. So be looking forward to that. And I will see you guys later. And roll Tide. See ya.